we go. You know, I'd like to do something for Valentine's Day, but I don't know if I will. Just because I don't have an idea immediately in my head. But I do have a video that'll be uploaded tomorrow that is currently uploaded on the Patreon right now. You can watch that right now, but it'll be up tomorrow. Alright, let's take a walk through Victory Road, shall we? That'll be nice and relaxing. Hello, Yomo. Alright, it's been a bit. That's alright, we'll figure it out. So, chat, kind of tired. Just a little bit. There is good. Do I remember anything here? Probably not. We'll figure it out together, though. My left ear is... That did no damage. I'll do it again. It wasn't a very eventful day. I drew something last night. Wasn't exactly what I was aiming on doing, but I can explain. So, as you know, I've been watching a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and I got the desire to watch 5Ds because I've never finished 5Ds. And I was like, I googled it. I was like, should I watch the sub or the dub? Because the dub would be easier for me to watch on the side. And all the responses were, don't do that to yourself. That's a really bad idea. Die. So, many such cases. So I just opted to watch the sub. And let me tell you something. Immediately I noticed Jack Atlas, his voice in the sub is pretty powerful. In the dub, he's British. Why does he sound like that in the dub? A skilled swordsman that uses 2 swords boldly claims that there are a few things that she cannot cut through. You say? Oh, God. Oh. But when he talks in the anime, it's like, holy shit, he's got like a deep-ass voice. Hold on. But like, he just sounds nothing like that, you know? It's weird. This is such a excellent use of our time right here. Giga Drain is what TM? I actually don't remember. There it is, TM19. Rock Climb. Okay. Alright! Don't mind me, I'm a little tired. I gotta do something. I gotta do something tonight, but it won't be very elaborate. Hello, Remy. See, the guy from GX in the cage match, I don't know what that is at all. I have no explanation for that one. But like, Jack is a main character, and also 4 kids. I'm pretty sure I've seen like 3 different scenes at this point in the first like 8 episodes where somebody gets clocked. And I don't remember exactly if the English dub actually showed it at all. Like, the blue spiky ball head guy, they pull a knife on him, and then they literally beat the shit out of him. And he's just screaming, and everybody in the detention hall can just hear it. And it's like, I don't remember that from the dub. I don't remember that at all. You didn't see him get beat up, but he was just screaming. It's like, oh, he's in trouble. Somebody should probably do something about that. There you go. I like when Yusei kicked him in the legs and he fell over. Head of the Scar Devil Mansion, the ability to manipulate fate. Catching everything you can. Put it in the box. Put it on a shirt. I actually really like the 5Ds opening. Like the English one. I know it's very stupid. It's a very stupid song. Do you think you can win only if I lose? Like, who wrote those lyrics? Just let destiny choose. But I like this song quite a bit. My leg day was 2 days ago, and yeah, I'm pretty jelly. Although I did my squats today, I skipped them yesterday, but I did them today. I am dying, Squirtle. Oh, I never made it to Crash Town when I watched it, actually. I think I made it to like the first couple Earthbound Immortals. Which, by the way, chat, are Earthbound Immortals good? Because from what I understood when I watched the show, they were like stupid. Because they'd send them out and it'd just be like, haha, I basically win now. I thought they were good because they were just like, they've stopped you from doing everything. Wasn't that their whole gimmick? They come out and then you just can't play the game? How's that not good? And again, the God cards weren't good either. Chat, is the Seal of Orichalcos a real spell card yet? Is that a real spell card yet? Can I play that and force my opponent into a shadow duel? Yeah? Wait, I can? Oh, not bad. Alright. You're probably... Oh, I don't know what you could be, actually, so I'm gonna throw a Shadow Ball at you. What was it the Seal of Orichalcos did? It gave all your monsters like 500 attack boost or something like that. It was like a really busted field spell. It also made it so both players had to wager their mortal souls. So, like, that's pretty insane. But what happens if you destroyed the field spell before the duel ended? Because that's always an option, right? But nobody ever seemed to do it? Or maybe somebody did try and it failed. I don't remember. Oh. Setting up on me, huh? Okay, I'll just hit a critty. Right here. Oh, me body, me soul. Wow. Didn't even need a crit. I thought field spells were good. Actually, wait a minute. Chat, another very important question. Are speed duel cards real? That may be a stupid question, but like, are those real? Can you actually play a speed duel? I'm talking specifically the ones that are played on motorcycles. Because they seem kind of stupid. Also, I don't really understand the idea of it. Like, every turn your speed counter goes up by 1, but if you take damage, your speed counter goes down. And it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to play the game if it's like a speed counter of 1 to 7? You can't play your cards without speed counters. An extremely intelligent yokai, proficient in mathematics. I don't know, man. Power Whip. Well, there's a whole archetype of, like, basically all the signature dragons, right? But they're all malefic monsters. And they require a field spell, too, right? You telling me those are bad? How could those be bad? I don't know what a Dark Synchro is. What do you mean they're bad? Why are they bad? You know what? You don't even need to answer. I know why. It's because they need a field spell to be on the field. I know. Malefic cards. Okay, better question. Would they be good if they didn't require a field spell? Oh, never mind. No, apparently they're just bad. They're just bad. Never mind. They made a cool archetype that beefed up all these cool dragons that we know, but they're bad. Can't play them. Stupid, stupid, idiot, stupid. You only have one on the field. They acquire numerous bricks in your deck. Oh. Why are you bricking your deck? Oh, Sonic Boom. That was neutral, I couldn't tell. Oh. I just learned about the yokai set earlier today. That's where Ash Blossom comes from. Because he was talking about Ghost Girl and Spooky Dog Hound. I was like, there's no way that card is called Spooky Dog Shroud. Yeah, it's called Spooky Dog Shroud. Fantastic. They got 0 attack and 1800 defense, and one of them is Ash Blossom. And I don't even really know what Ash Blossom does. All I know is that it's like the second most used card in the entire metagame. Oh, don't mind me, chat. I'm a little winded today. I don't know why, I'm just kind of exhausted. So, don't mind my rather slow speech and slow on the uptake. Half of them have to banish the original dragon they're based on from your deck. It did not have to say hand, which means if you draw the OG dragon, the Malefic version is a dead card in your hand. Because of this, the only playable ones were Stardust and Cyber End because they're extra deck monsters. Why? Why would that be a printed effect? Why would they not be from hand or deck? That seems like such an easy fix. Why am I down here? Yeah, I know Ash Blossom's like a hand trap, but I don't really know what it prevents. But I'm pretty sure it prevents whatever Max C does. So that's why it's good. Rainbow Dragon is the only could banish from the hand. Well, I actually just watched the video on that archetype and how it went from really not good to like sleeper good pick with some crazy support cards they've gotten their hands on over the years. Which is cool. I also like how one of those Crystal Beasts was relevant in a meta deck because it just happened to have the perfect amount of attributes to it. And it could run one really good trap card to search out something that it wanted for the deck. The Telements, they were called. I don't know what made them good, but he called them Tier 0. And as far as I understand, a Tier 0 deck is basically a deck that's being run by 65% of the player base or more. Which is not a very good time. But hey, if your deck beats that, then you got a pretty good deck, right? Preventing adding cards to the hand, sending cards from deck to graveyard, or special summon from the deck. Why does it do why does it block 3 of the most important things in the game? Wait a minute, what? Why does it have 3? Those effects, I wouldn't call them hyper specific, but the fact that it has all 3 is like, I don't know, that seems kind of like it's designed to stop something in particular. Duel Links meta is weird, right? Because they have like 4,000 life points and 3 monster and trap zones, right? Something like that. I thought the best deck, well, one of the best decks ever made was the Dragon Rulers. Because they got banned. That's why that you could tell they're good, because they got banned. They were held back by one card. One singular card stopped that archetype from being Tier 0. What about the Performance Pals? I heard about them. I've heard about them when they were really good, but I haven't really heard much of anything about them since. Are they still good? Have they been removed? Why are you quick attacking me? Oh, actually, that reminds me. Hat. You have Thunder Punch, right? Yeah. That reminds me. Dude, I talked about Montage Dragon before, right? The one that lets you send 3 monsters into your hand as tribute, and you can special summon it with attack points equal to the 3 monsters tributed. Yeah, so I didn't remember that Officer Trudge had that monster in the first episode of 5Ds. I was like, well, why he summoned that? And he lost with it. What a fucking loser. How do you lose with a card like that? And then in the third episode, that motherfucker sent out Gojo Commander or whatever. That synchro dude that got banned. Because he was really good. I'm still choice banded, I believe. Oh, I can't remember. There was a specific card. I can't remember what it was, but it was something about fusion monsters. About like low level fusion monsters, or low level monsters for fusion materials kind of suck, but there was like one specific instance where it was actually really good because you could use the combo to bring out Thousand Eyes Restrict, because Thousand Eyes Restrict is a fusion monster with 1 star. So he's, you know, I don't remember what the combo was for that, other than that it was a thing you could do and it was the only reason to do it. Oh, Instant Fusion. Yeah, that's what it was. Because Instant Fusion let you special summon a level 5 or lower fusion monster, right? And there were restrictions on it, but like Restrict had a crazy effect or something like that that made it worth doing it. Also, you know, it's obvious to a lot of people, of course, but holy shit, do Yu-Gi-Oh players in the anime cheat or what? How many times has Yusei gotten a card on the field without actually placing it on the field? But it's on the field. You didn't see him place it, but it's on the field. He's cheated so much already, it's insane. But not even him. Like, the guy who he dueled Jack Atlas, and he was like, I summon monster, and his effect lets me send, I take this card and I send it to the graveyard, and I can special summon 2 monsters from my hand with attack equal to 1,000. So he summons 2 burning skulls, which inflict 1,000 burn damage. Then he sacrifices them to special summon some big hitter who allowed him to bring another burning skull out of his hand. So that guy's opening hand was the guy who let him summon 2 skulls, the monster that he tributed 2 skulls for, and 3 skulls. How the fuck did he draw that on his first turn? Like, what? And then, of course, it's not like he won, even though he got a hand that literally guaranteed him a 2nd turn kill. Jack Atlas fucking won. Anyway, because he's the king, baby. He top decked harder. It's actually unreasonable how good their opening hands can be. How do you draw a hand that good in a 40 card deck? Seriously. Oh yeah, they have a ton of hyper-specific cards. Those are always funny. I like the one that Yusei used to beat the prison warden. His last card in his deck was King of Rubble, and his ability was if you had 30 or more cards in the graveyard, you could activate a trap card in your hand. And he had a trap card in his hand. That was if you have 30 or more cards in the graveyard, you can inflict 3k life point damage directly. And it's like, okay. Good thing he had that card, right? Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. They all cheat, man. They definitely all cheat. But it's just crazy how they have so many cards. Like, you say it fought a Boogman, and he also had a cheat hand that got him like 3 ridiculous monsters on the field. And then you say it was like, alright, here's Junk Synchron. Alright, here's Fighting Spirit. And now I activate Domino Effect, and I send these 2 cards to the graveyard, and it makes all your monsters die. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, Domino Effect, that's a card? That's crazy. I think I want to use that add-on for versus, but yeah, maybe it's best not to do it for 8. Because everything reacts like instantly to you. I don't know what's coming out. Speaking of that, chat, not to deviate the conversation because I like talking about Yu-Gi-Oh right now, but the Left 4 Dead bit we were talking about yesterday. If you haven't yet, the cord, there's a role for it. I've already put a message out, but let's see, we have enough bodies. I'd like at least one more, but the more the merrier. We got about 8 or so people. We're gonna do it on Thursday. Thursday. We're doing it on Thursday. So, if you haven't gone in the Discord yet, and you wanna join, or you have, you know, you didn't put the roll on so you didn't get the ping, just, you know, we're doing it Thursday, normal stream time. So if you're available, you know, ping, and then be ready for your turn, really. That's all I can say. But yeah, I think we have about 7 or 8 people in the queue right now, plus me, which is great because that's a perfect number. But like I said, the more, the better. And obviously, once every player goes through the queue, we can just, you know, reset it, right? Everybody can just go again like that. But obviously, if we run out of players, we have to restart the campaign. So there's that. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna try it on Thursday. It ought to be fun, and if it goes well, we'll do it again in the future for sure. Maybe more people want to join up because they see how it goes. And like I said, don't worry about it not being like you not being very good at the game, or even if it's your first time playing. You might get your shit kicked in really fast, but that's fine. It's better you try and learn anyway, because the game is very good and it's fun to be good at the game. If you can join, you can join. If not, then yeah, just appreciate watching it. Because I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. So yeah, do that. Tell your friends. Don't tell your friends. I don't know them. But this is your reminder on the stream to, if you're interested in that. Well, this is kind of bad actually. No, maybe not. Oh, okay, that's fine now. Yeah, see, the crazy 8 thing is hilarious because there's 8 special infected and there's not really any restriction to it. So if you're not careful, you can just completely wipe. Especially on the first set of infected that spawn, because they all spawn at the same time. Now, spawns can stagger a bit and give you a little bit of breathing room, but for the most part, you're gonna eat shit on the first encounter. So you need to be careful, and you need to be in a situation where you can't all get ganked. But if you all get ganked, it's probably gonna be really funny. It's probably gonna be really funny, so that's why we're doing it. Oh my. Oh. All right. Quad Hunter dead. That'll be the game. Alice, why didn't you take that? Take it better this time, will ya? Alright, anyway chat, what was I talking about? I was talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know, I like Yusei's monsters, but they don't seem very good, but because he always happens to draw the perfect card for any situation, that motherfucker gets away with murder. Actually, chat, I have another question. You know the deck that the old man has with the really shitty, like, artifact cards? Are those cards real? Were they ever made? Or are those just, like, anime-only cards? Because they're really, really, really bad. Oh, wrong button. They became real? He only played like 6 or 7 cards from that whole deck, right? I'm just wondering, do I have an escape rope? I don't, do I? Ooh. Recently made. Okay. And I assume their effects are exactly as they are. If you play all 3 of these monsters on your side of the field, you can destroy them in the entire field and then inflict all the negative effects to your opponent. Like, whoa. Crazy. I don't even know what the fucking stone does. It's just a stone. It's a stone, Luigi. You didn't make it. Let's get some hyper potions in here. Okay. I guess I can use this. Yeah, that'll be fine. That's better though. Get some milk. Drink your milk, Alice. Kutaka, drink your milk. Alright. Let us continue our trek through victory. I'm surprised that they were even made to begin with. But yeah, that crystal skull card is just... it's just not a monster you'd ever want to play. Ever. But it was a monster that exists, so I figured, you know. You know what I found out as well, chat? Is the anime and the manga for GX, Jaiden's boss monster was elemental hero Terra Firma. And Neos didn't even exist in the manga. Meanwhile, Terra Firma didn't exist in the, I don't think he existed in the anime. Oh no, this is fun. There's differences in the manga and the anime. I don't know exactly what those differences are, but there are differences. Get elemental hero Ocean and elemental hero Wood. That's his name. Okay. Also, chat, I didn't realize for the longest time that Warrior of Zera, her brother's death caused her to fear dying. She studied magic to extend and enhance her own lifespan. I didn't realize that Warrior of Zera was Zera the Mant. I didn't know that. Because I never had that card, and I've never paid attention to the ritual. And the ritual itself is just the Warrior of Zera, like, sitting on a chair. And he turns into Zera the Mant. I was like, oh. His sword even kind of looks like him. Like the Mant part. I thought that was neat. I never noticed that. Because the only time I'd ever seen Zera the Mant was when Possessed Bandit Keith used it. I never put 2 and 2 together. It's crazy the stories that are told in Yu-Gi-Oh cards, huh? Seriously. Yeah, I saw all his lore. Eve of the World Challenge. That was a crazy one. What an adventure. Hold on. You're not gonna be very easy to catch. Come on. Yeah. It's cool because you can see stories and shit and be enacted through various monster, spell, and trap cards. She likes frogs. Sometimes acts like one. However, she isn't related to frogs at all. Like Buster Blader and his little dragon buddy that he inevitably had to slay. That one was depressing, actually. I didn't like that one very much. He had he slayed the Buster Dragon and took its child, but its child, the same fate befell it, and he had no choice but to slay that too. It's like, damn, man. That's why he's the Buster Blader. There you go. Satori that reads the subconscious instead of the heart. She acts without thinking, so she's somewhat unsettling. Somewhat, huh? Yeah, I didn't like that one. It made me feel sad. But it's okay, because he had a card that was like him fusing with the spirit of his lost compatriot, coming to an understanding, forgiveness. It was nice. But yeah, it's still pretty sad. Oh, give me this. Yu-Gi-Oh card lore is pretty cool. You know Gaga Gigo? Gaga Gigo gets turned into Giga Gaga, Giga Gigo, and then he becomes Giga Gaga Gigo. And Giga Gaga Gigo is not very good. Like, Gaga Gigo is decent, 1850 4-star monster, that's pretty fine. Giga Gigo is not bad either, because he's 2450 6-star monster, so he's actually stronger than Red Eyes. But then Giga Gaga Gigo is not that great, because I think it's 2850, and he's a 2-star sacrifice requirement, which is like, not amazing by 2 sacrifice standards. But I guess it's better than Red Eyes. A lot of things are. They're not better than Blue Eyes. It should have been a 3K beat stick at least. It would have fit the theme of being very high powered for a level based on its levels. Because it doesn't feel like it's that strong, even though that's supposed to be the part of it that's like become so strong that it's completely lost all reasoning power. He's just an incarnate of malice. One of the most useful legendary ocean once in its life. Hey, you wanna know something funny about that? You wanna know something funny about that? You know the card, you know the card Deep Sea Warrior, the 5-star monster with 1600 attack? It has a really cool effect where if Umi is on the field, it is immune to all spell effects, including Umi. So it doesn't get the attack point increase from Umi. So it's just a 1600 5-star monster that's immune to spell cards. Isn't that cool? I don't think they thought that one through when they did that. Hello, child. They probably should have specified except for Umi, but they didn't. Legendary Fisherman's really bad because it's a 5-star monster with 1850 attack. They released the same set, Deep Sea Warrior and Legendary Fisherman, and neither was good. Unless your name was Meiku Tsunami and you played a card. You played the equip spell to Silverfang to increase the moon, which made the tides rise, which made it even harder for your monsters to fight the creatures of the deep. But it's okay, because when the Legendary Ocean dried up, you were able to attack all of his monsters for free, and they all had 0 points. And you would win the duel. And I have no, I don't know what else to say about that, other than, yeah, that's something that happened. That's Duelist Kingdom, baby. The rules, they don't matter here. Battle-Ox can't hit Harpy ladies. It just can't happen. He's land-based, they're air-based. Wants nothing more than no mash to become a Minriki puppet and search for a lost mask of hope. Okay. Well, a Legendary Ocean is always called... Oh, chat, what was that card? There was a card that, like, I forget what it was. It was a card that was supposed to, like, search Legendary Ocean, but it couldn't actually do that because Legendary Ocean is always treated as Umi. So technically a Legendary Ocean never actually existed in your deck to begin with. I don't remember what card that was. Can I do something about this? Oh yeah, I can. Man. Atlantean Soldier. That's what it was? Okay. That's a funny oopsie. You can't search the card by the name of Legendary Ocean because Legendary Ocean is always, in any circumstance, going to be referred to as Umi. I'd laugh, but it's kind of tragic. It's almost as tragic as having to switch these fucking HMs, dude. Alright. I activate the spell. Oh, chat. Okay. Do you remember the card that, Joey activated in his duel when he was brainwashed? Is that a real card? Like, I remember Yugi, like, Yugi lost. He lost the duel and, like, was gonna drown with the fucking anchor. And then while the duel was over, Joey was like, yeah, I activate this card, what makes it so I take the same amount of life point damage as my opponent. And then they both lose. Even now, even though, like, the duel was already over and Joey already won, but for some reason, the game state was still on, and he was able to play a card that made him just lose. Like, what? I don't understand. That was Dream Eater. There's a couple... There's an anime card that doesn't exist. I think it's from 5Ds. It looks like a cowboy or something. I don't remember what he does. He's some kind of, like, discard card. But he just, he did some kind of crazy effect with hand discard, and he was never actually a printed card. He was only, in the anime. I don't know the name of it, I just know that it was a cowboy-looking guy. And I think it was used by... I think it was used by the guy who had the Earthbound Immortal, the giant one. I don't know his name. But he had the giant. I never got to him in the anime, I don't think. Reimu's coming out. What do I do against Reimu? I don't know, actually. I'm in Rico. I could click fissure. Wait, did the snow stop? Ain't no way the snow just stopped. Oh no, it's coming down. Ooh, that's heavy looking. Uh-oh. I'm not gonna be a good day tomorrow, chat. I'll tell you that. But it's okay, because I'll be able to at least publish the video properly. Exclamation point video to see it now. Oh wait, you can't. You have to be a Patreon supporter. Only then may you see these things. Oh, that's dangerous. But it'll be up tomorrow, so don't worry. Doesn't affect Reimu. Okay. Noted. I'm gonna hit her with a stun spore and then hope that this stops. That's my plan. Man, I'm definitely a little a little empty. A little bit. Can't go to bed yet, though. No, not yet, not yet, not yet. Oh, by the way, chat, if you didn't know, Mystia's Izakaya DLC 5 has released, which means we'll probably see the translation for it in a couple months. So that's something to look forward to for sure. And also, I believe KK has talked a little bit more about his next game with the Aki sisters, and it seems like they're aiming for a 2025 release. So that's pretty good. It's quite a ways off, I know, but it's well worth the wait when you think about who's behind it. That's exciting news. Another Touhou-related news, chat. Touhou Empires is a game that exists, and there was a demo that existed and stopped existing, and I didn't play it because, well, I didn't care, I guess. I don't know what Age of Empires is. I've never played it. I've heard the name. I don't know what it is, and I have to assume that Touhou Empires is basically that. And I can't imagine it's a game that's very easy. Now that said, I did think that Sengoku Gensokyo would be overly complex, but I actually had a perfectly fine time with that. And before you say, streamer, you cheated in unkillable units, I did, and I fully acknowledge that. But I didn't really use those cheated units outside of A, defending to get through obnoxious monotony, and B, the final boss, because she's a fucking cheater. and I was not gonna be doing that. It's RTS. Oh no. I don't do that genre. I don't do that genre. I play Pikmin, for Christ's sakes. Pikmin is my RTS. It's real-time stupid. Anything that requires me to think and use my brain and multitask while things are happening around me causes me to shut down mentally. I can't do it. I struggle with it. Orange. This puppet is bad. A simple enough campaign? I don't know, man. We're talking about a Touhoumon fan game. You know how Touhoumon fan games like to randomly drop some crazy shit on you because it's funny that way. Come on now. Chat, do you remember the Disappearing Gensokyo? You remember that game that I played? Oh my god, that game... That game's final boss was... That game's final boss was really bad. I couldn't beat it. I gave up. I quit. I was already having a hard enough time with Remilia, and then I did the final boss. It's just like the worst thing I've ever played. It's not fun. I've never really played RTS games, but I can imagine that they're the type of game that if you don't play it the way you're supposed to, you're gonna make somebody angry. But, well, that's just kind of part and parcel for any real game. But games that involve strategy are kind of bad for this type of thing. And I don't really know why. Because when you think about it, strategy games, you're supposed to figure out a strategy for yourself, right? And sometimes the strategy isn't one particular thing you have to do. There's multiple ways to tackle the same solution. But sometimes if you don't tackle a solution the way somebody else did, then you're wrong. You're wrong to do it like that. And you may think this is a moment of streamer making somebody up again. Which it actually isn't, if you can believe it. This is a very real thing that happened quite a few times when I was playing Saphiros. The way I played the game was not all good in the hood for some people. That's for sure. But I don't really care that much. I was having fun being a gorilla. Big numbers make my brain feel good. I enjoyed that, but no, there are definitely some people that weren't very keen on my desire to play the game with brute force. But I stand by all of my complaints with that game. Now, I don't complain because the game doesn't let me face roll shit. I complain because the game literally throws a aha at me when the boss goes down to 0 HP, and I'm just supposed to know that it's gonna do that. That's my issue with it. When Oku blew up on me and I died, I was like, what? When Yuyuko was like, hey, guess what? When you kill me, I cast Omega Death, so you better have brought resistance. I didn't die to that, but the fact that she does that at the end of the fight is very poor sportsmanship, very angry at the player, because she's kind of hard to hit in general, and she casts a lot of hard to deal with death stuff. But it's just weird to me because if the player actively gets around all of her death shenanigans, and then at the end of the fight, it's just a check that you had used death checks, it feels really silly to me. Like, that check doesn't even need to be there, because the odds of you reaching the end of that fight with no one being able to resist death like that is extremely low. And the fact that you're punished for actually even attempting that and performing that is baffling design to me. And it's not like that boss was the only boss. Why are you burned? I have no idea why you're burned. Maybe you have a flame orb, whatever. completed graduate school at the age of 13. Extremely immature. Oh, I love the future. There were a lot of aspects to that game that I did like with Sapidos. The further in I got, the more exhausting it did get for sure. But like strategizing and having things work well is fun. There are a lot of aspects to the game that are cool. One of the biggest aspects I didn't like is how the game is extremely unclear on what status effects and stat downs actually affect what, because you can't tell. There's no way to perceive what they are weak or strong against on that front. Like, for example, Suiko and Kaneko are bosses. Kaneko is weak to instant death, and Suiko is weak to petrification, which may as well be instant death. But you never know that because every other boss is just full-on fucking immune, or basically immune to those effects. But also sometimes your effect doesn't go off, even though it's the intended effect because you got unlucky, and now you just assume that that was the wrong answer because it didn't work the first time. Satori. That kind of bothered me as well. It's not fully a puzzle game is the problem. Like, I understand, oh, you're dealing with mental flares? Yeah, get Snai in there. If Snai is there, Snai can cast Res Up, and then they can't paralyze you, and they have trouble instant deathing you. Believe me, I know, I got a lot of comments about me not doing that. So, I know. But that's just one particular enemy. There are some things that just, they face roll you. The final boss Omega nuked me. That was probably the worst aspect to it, was when I spent 30 minutes and got to the final boss, and I had crafted a team that I thought would work well, and that team got absolutely shit-canned without any hope of an actual real fight. And I died instantly, collected literally 0 data on the fight, and then I had to start all the way back at the beginning again. Needless to say, I was not very enthused by that, and I think rightfully so. Yet, for some reason, I got comments about that. Something about how I thought I could just face roll the final boss, and it was an overreaction on my part to be upset that I just lost 30 minutes of my life because I had no information and was unable to gain any information, and I was very annoyed at that, and I no longer wanted to attempt to figure out the boss. So, anyway, I don't have to listen to comments like that anymore. There are a lot of things you can do to prevent such things from being seen by your own eyes. Believe me, I've learned. But that particular final boss was just, I didn't want to learn how to do it because I did not see a feasible way for it to teach me. Because whatever I have to do to defeat that part of the fight, I still have to figure out how to do the first part. The first 2 parts of the fight. And they aren't very enjoyable parts to do when you have to keep doing them. I don't understand how I was supposed to know. Like, that final phase came out, and I was like, oh, nice field. I'm gonna now scoop it up and gain 10k HP back. Also, I get like 2 to 3 turns, and here's AoE magic, and you all dead. And it's just like, I was just supposed to know that was coming. I was supposed to be able to do something about that. So, yeah, I gave up pretty quickly. And then the post-game stuff was fine for a little bit, but then it got really, really spongy. And don't even get me started on that fucking sun, dude. Oh my god, why was that a boss fight? There's no wiki to read, man. As far as I'm concerned, I beat that game. I beat every boss. I didn't beat all the quest bosses, but I beat the post-game content. I did it. I finished it. It's a shame I didn't have the desire to play more of it. Really, it is. Because like I said, there are a lot of things about that game I did think were pretty great, and I obviously enjoyed it to a pretty large degree, because if I didn't, I would have finished it. But I did enjoy it. It's just, that game is pretty popular with a select few people, but it's one of those games that it's so popular to a small set of fanatics that they have trouble acknowledging that there's anything wrong with the game. So anyone who has a complaint with the game, it is simply because they are bad. Chat, did you know that literally every boss in Saphiros isn't bad if you know how to fight it? Because I do. I know that now. Because I was reminded after every fucking boss that I fought. Yeah, Sky Attack can flinch. That's cool. Who would have thought? Chad, did you know that if you've cooked before, it is easier to cook the dish that you just cooked? Did you know that? Because I didn't know that. Did you know studying for a test gets you better grades on a test where the subject is the material you study? Did you know that? And other extremely fucking useless comments you can have. That's what it felt like. It didn't stop me from playing the game, obviously. But these are things that can happen, and sometimes they're annoying, and sometimes I try not to think about them. But yeah, there's oftentimes this weird notion that you should know exactly what to do in your first playthrough because somebody who has played the game multiple times before knows what to do now. There's a weird disconnect, a lack of understanding to the situation. I don't quite understand why that's the case, though. I don't. Chat, my lips are dry and now I taste blood. Whoa. Give me my water. Ooh. Honestly, chat, the snow is actually kind of pretty. Like in a weird way. It's just all coming down and you see a heavy snowfall. Like it's really heavy. Like that's already starting to coat the road, and like the cars that are driving are getting it all on their top, and it's only been going for a couple hours, and it's gonna go all the way into tomorrow, and it's gonna rain at some point too. It's Letty Day. Go find yourself a Letty. Or her source material. Letita. What was it? Blacklock? Was that her name? A tornado is pretty when it's not hitting you? I don't know about that, dog. A tornado is more awesome than pretty. Snow is pretty. Rain can be pretty, given the setting. Oh, hold on. Can I get that item? I think I kind of want that. Headwind? I have no idea what that move is. 20% chance to confuse. Oh, neat. Okay. Yeah, no one's used that move before. Think thunderstorms are comfy? Yes and no. A lot of rain white noise that exists is usually in the middle of a thunderstorm. So you get crackling thunder as part of just the sound. But for me, IRL thunder is always so fucking close to me that it's just more obnoxious than anything. That's how I feel about it. But when it's just part of like rainy mood or something, it's turned down to, I don't think it's actually turned down, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not louder than the rain per se. But actual thunder, that shit, you can hear it just goes baba booey. And it's like, oh man, that's loud. The sense that your puppets have a lot of trust in you. Okay. I think being inside a freezer is cozy. Oh shit! Oh, chat! Look! Look, the trainer! The trainer, he's got one! The trainer, he's got a shiny Shizuo! It happened, it's real. Somebody called Dev. Somebody called a Dev. It happened. A trainer actually had a shiny. No one believed it. I can't catch that, by the way. It's not mine. But I did find a shiny. That's crazy. Trainer actually rolled it. That's funny as fuck, dude. This guy's masterful. Goodbye! Ancestor? Who the... What? I mean, that's probably Sendai, but you're calling it something different. The Ancestor. Yeah. I don't know what type you are. I'm gonna stab you. Uh-oh. Okay. That should be fine. Okay. Well, maybe a little less fine, but still fine. That's crazy. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that at all. I got my thumbnail, though. This guy. This guy. Oh, what a critty! Oh my god. Anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about Touhoumon games. Before I veered into things. No, there's a sequel to Saphiros that I will be playing. Devil a Decline, which Hakanai is translating as we speak. Surely he's not asleep or playing Lethal Company. Nope, he's definitely hard at work on that right now. But I will be playing that. I don't know exactly if I'll do like everything in that one, but I did like Saphiros enough that I would like to play Devil a Decline. I hope Devil a Decline is better. From what I understand, the post game for DoD was made it was made with the you know, the game in mind, whereas Saphiros' post game kind of just came out after the fact and it was kind of messy. But like this one's post game matches up better with the base game. No, I am busy person. Listen, man, if you want to fund it, I am not going to stop you. In fact, I welcome it. You know what, actually? Where's Potato? That motherfucker owes me $1,000. He could single-handedly fund the entire translation of that game just from the amounts of Mokozooms he's used. He could do this community a service right now with all that money. He'll be a hero, a legend, and then I'll ban him. And he'll die a hero. He'll never have a chance to see himself become a villain. You need that money. Let me size you up. Aim at the Puppet League. That's all you should be thinking about. Get the hell out of my way, dude. Look at all these broke motherfuckers spamming this emote. Look at this. You ever see Kaiji Ultimate Survivor, chat? It's the show where it's a million times better if you just think as Kaiji as Waluigi. No joke. Like, straight up. No cap. For real, for real. Anyway, he boards a cruise ship to win a bunch of money because if he doesn't, he's gonna get sent on a boat and sent to the mines. And the mines, Waluigi does not yearn for the mines. I like to believe that at some point, yes, that'll happen. And, you know, at this point, Hakanai is pretty established. Like, he's got a lot of, like, pretty serious games under his belt that have, like, good notoriety. And he's shown to be able to handle the projects with competence. So, like, there's that. That's pretty promising. It would be nice if that would show through. But all we can do is wait, chat. We have no control over the situation. Again, the only alternative we have is if we collectively cough up all of the money out of our pocket and pay for it as a private project. That's the only way we can, the only other way we can effectively get that game translated. But as I already said, that costs a lot of money, and I'm not made of that kind of money. However, we, as a community, could be made of that money. How much money? That's not for me to disclose, that's for Hakanai to disclose. It's his prices after all. You have to ask him. Clinton. We? Yes, we. Yes, we. I'm including me, myself, and you. What are you trying to get out of contributing to the cause? Aren't all streamers millionaires? What do you watch, Asmon Gold? Huh? Do you watch XQC? These are the 2 other streamers you watch? And your perception of streamers is completely 100% based on 2 individuals? Come on now. Dig ain't gonna hit a flying type. I ain't broke, but I ain't rich. It's a pretty hefty cost. If I won the lottery, I would, yes. If I had won the lottery, I would just give him the money and then some to translate that game. Because I would want that. Because it would not hurt my bottom line and even, like, slightly. But I did not win the lottery, so I can't do that. Did you know in Canada, chat, you don't get taxed for lottery winnings? But you do have to collect it with, like, no, you're not allowed to be anonymous with your collection. The world gets to know that you're the motherfucker who won. Congratulations to Dylan Asprey for winning $7,500,000 jackpot. Anyway, here's his home state, date of birth and address. And it's like, oh, cool, thanks. I'd rather be fucking taxed. No, you'd rather be taxed, chat. You'd rather be taxed. Because taxing $1 million is still gonna leave you with enough money to not have to do anything ever again. Alright? I'd rather be taxed than have to come out and be like, I won the lottery, smiley face. I don't want to do that. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, that was terrible. I don't know what that sounded like, but I hope it wasn't that bad. Oh, fuck. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my Lord. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm fixing it right. That was so bad, dude. I can't believe I just did that. Oh, what are you doing? Stop! Okay. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. I think it's okay. I don't know what, I hit like every key on my keyboard when I did that. Okay. My mic basically just fell over, and now it works, but that was kind of scary. If I won the lottery, I don't know what I'd do with it. I wouldn't do much though. There's a lot of like different ideas that float around with that kind of thing. It's like, oh, if I had a bunch of money, I would spend it on crazy things. But every like ridiculously crazy expensive thing you could want to spend a lot of money on, I don't care about. Like, I don't need a car. I don't want a hot tub. I mean, I would like a house. That's pretty expensive. But it shouldn't be. Anyway. Go Rico. But I don't need any of that fancy schmancy stuff. You know what though? If I had $1 million, I'd be buying the $10 cheese. You know? I buy that high grade cheese that costs a little more than the current stuff that exists. Oh baby. Big spender over here. But it's easy to say I would do this, this, and this. But ultimately, you'd have to see what would happen if you actually had the money in your hand, right? Because I think some people could be very easily corrupted by money. Like, very easily corrupted by money. And all the things they think they would do if they had it just would not actually come to fruition. I don't think I would be that bad with my money because I'm not very, like... I'm not really spending millions all the time. I've always been confused by people who talk like they never have more than $5 in their bank account. And I don't mean like people who are like they're living somewhere that's really expensive and they can't keep up. I'm talking about people who like work the same position than I do. It's like, I know how much you make. I don't understand how you can't keep at least some reserve from that. Unless you're like living somewhere that's costing you $3K a month, in which case, what are you doing? But then you realize that they spend 90% of their paycheck on drugs and or alcohol. And then they have to get through a payday. And it's like, I see. I'm pretty sure I'm out. A nice house to sit in. That's true. That's true. I would in fact get a nice house. Also, I could buy one couch and sit in it. It's a good plan. Spend it on Jung commissions. See, that's where you're half right. I would definitely spend some money to commission artists, but I would probably overpay the fuck out of them because I could literally afford to do that. It's a pretty good way to give back, I think. But this isn't about me being, like, you know, like, I'm giving you money because I'm a good person. Because there's some vanity in that. It's more so just, you know, I got the money to burn, and I like their art, and I want them to make art. So you pay them, but you can afford to pay them a little bit more so they can, you know, live a little more comfortably themselves. Because art is a very not lucrative trade for a lot of people, which is really unfortunate. Where the fuck is that sky plate? The better your art, the more you can charge, because it shit takes time. But also, some people don't like spending money for goods. Oh god, where is the... Is it 7 or 8? There it is. What the fuck is this plate, dude? What is this thing? Hey, speaking of overpaying, where's my $1.5 thousand, huh? Huh? Want to talk about my fragile ego? Let's talk about your fragile finances. Where's my 1.5K? Where's this fucking thing? Where is it? What? What? How do you read this piece of shit? What? It's on... How do you read this thing? That makes no sense. I know. Where was the dot? Where was the dot? Where was the dot? Where was the dot? Tell me. What a stupid ass item finder. Streamer wants to tax a public domain emote. What do you mean public domain? How do you know I didn't upload that on my alt account? How do you know it's not mine? I can tax you for breathing. I could tax you for every letter that you type in my chat. 1 cent per letter. You may laugh right now, chat, but this may be our future someday. You may be charged for individual characters in your text. Then who will be laughing? IDK Jim? Bro, that right there is gonna cost you a clean $1 to say shit like that. You challenge the Puppet League, that's why I'm here. Let's see who's more worthy. I don't remember what you lead with, dude. Megumu. I can handle this. was texting 20 years ago, you understand that the further we go forward, the further we go backwards. Surely you understand this. I'm not scared of fly. Ow. Laughs and hidden. I really don't think it was a good idea to lose Alice here, but I'm sure it's fine. That's alright. $12 a month to have more than 15 colors for your username. Yeah, it also wants $5.99 for you to be able to use silly images in your text chat. This is unfortunate. It's fine. It's not that much damage. Everything in this world costs money. Sanyo. Sanyo's interesting. I'm gonna stay in. Pog, you chat member, you are the backbone of community. That's right, your contribution to streamer is what makes community better. Now, all you gotta do is fill in a couple of those words with whatever you want, and bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a positive message that totally sounds like it's addressed to you as a person, but it's actually sent to everybody. And it makes you feel more special in the community. And I love you, random citizen. It's just that. It's one of those situations. How do you think it feels to be a... How do you think it feels to be an XQC viewer in a sea of tens of thousands and thinking that he's, you know, he's ever gonna read your message? You be in the sea of emote spam and whatever the fuck goes on in there. I don't actually know. I don't watch XQC. He's just the first example I thought of. Rayson does... I don't know what Rayson does. We're gonna do this. Does he read his chat? I don't know. I don't... Can he read his chat? Is it even readable? I actually don't know. Let's Dunsport first. Oh, great. Alrighty. Okay. Luck is not on my side. The only like big streamer I watch, I suppose, is I watch Germa occasionally. He's pretty massive. But I watch Vinny, but I've been watching Vinny for like years at this point. And I watch Liam, and Liam's not like the same size as like Vinny and Joel, but he's still pretty big. But I don't watch any of those streamers that are like super massive, I guess. Like, I'm talking like the ones that sometimes they randomly appear on your sidebar. It's just a picture of a dude. The title is like Gimmon, and there's like 83,000 people watching. And I'm just thinking to myself, what is he doing that 83,000 people are watching? I just don't know. But I have no idea. Sometimes it's classic WoW. I don't know how 30,000 people can sit in the chat and watch somebody play World of Warcraft. I don't know how you can do that. I don't know how to play World of Warcraft. It's just something that it's a thing, I guess. You have permaban Joel's chat for some reason. Brother, there was probably a reason. What do you want me to do about it? You think I'm a mod over there? You probably pressed it too many times and you got timed out. And then you did it again and then they banned you. I don't know what the fuck goes on in there. But usually there's a reason you get banned places. Here, you get banned for a reason. And usually it takes a while to actually have that happen. And it doesn't really change because, well, I don't care enough about the individual to change that notion. There's been a few people who have been here for too long. And then inevitably got sent away. And I don't miss them. But then there are times where somebody shows up and their first message is, fuck you. And then their second message is a word I can't say. So yeah, they get banned pretty fast because what am I supposed to do about that? What am I supposed to do about that one? How could that be anything aside from a ban? Do you think anything that person's gonna do from that point on is gonna be worth it? If anything, allowing such a thing to exist puts me as a liability in that situation. I don't know the guy. All I know is that account existed in May of last year, so it's not like somebody just made it. Like somebody's had that account for almost a year now, and they just decided to pop in here and tell me to go fuck myself. I don't even know him. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he did, what I did, what either of us did. I've never interacted with him in my life, and I'll never know now because he had to go right away. But what did he want? Why did he say that? Did I know him? What have I gotten banned if I didn't ban him? I don't know actually, but there is something like that for ASCII stuff, where if you're complacent in TOS breaking ASCII, you can get in trouble. Cause I used to watch a lot of Mario 64 stuff. I'd watch Simply, and when Simply got on the carpet in Rainbow Ride, his chat would just spam Among Us cock because they did, and he was just, it was just something that they did, and he just was always just like, all right, yeah, go ahead, whatever, spam it, okay. And then he just let them do that for that moment. But then I guess he got kind of in trouble for that. Like, hey, don't do that. That doesn't set a good example. But feel free to strip down your loins and get in a hot tub and have a great time. But yeah, it doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. All you gotta worry about is that things don't always flow one way than they do the other. Alright, let's just understand that together. We as a people could understand that we are failing society. Did I? Alright, spent all my money on shit, but I still need more revives. I've never been banned in a chat, because that would imply that I talk in chats enough to be banned. I don't. I've never been banned. Green UFO. Something else in here I can sell. Oh, I did have escape ropes. Okay. You were banned from this chat. You sure were. Perfect. Can I get some full heals, or am I out of luck? Okay. That should be good. Alright, let me see. Just make sure everybody's moves are back to normal. Yeah. 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 Alright, let's figure this out together. Simply do not say dumb things. Well, that's really the easiest way to go about it, is, is don't say dumb things. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Let me confirm you're qualified. Yeah, oh, he's gonna read through all of them. Okay. I don't know, man. I just think that like it's not that hard to not get banned, but some people just don't have good social skills and are not good with social cues or something, and then they just get banned because they say or do something that is quite obviously something that nobody wants them to do, but they do it anyway, and they don't really understand what they did wrong, and then the cycle repeats itself somewhere else. I'm too quirky to ban. Click. Let me see. Yep. Damn, that's a lot of messages. What's that little hammer there do? It's a neat little button I can have. The power is in my hands. It really is that easy, chat. I don't know how many of you knew this, but it is actually that easy. I can just click your name and click a button, and then you're Thanos. That's very hard work. Requires a lot of intense focus and sheer commitment and paying attention. Now, if anyone can fucking do it, dumbass. Hello, welcome to the Puppet League. I'm Aaron. Hello, Aaron. No, I don't like doing. Whoa, jeez. I don't like doing random bans because I'm not sure what that does to the overall account. And I don't really want to fuck with that for somebody for a bit, because that's unfortunate. Chat, I saved, didn't I? I did. I meant to grind. Fuck. Hold on. I meant to grind because their levels are gonna be like this. It just battened past. Yeah, okay. It just battened past 2 dragon dances. So, I actually want to die here. Because I wanted to go get some levels to make up for the fact. I didn't want... Well, I mean, it's EXP. These are bug types? These are nature types. Why am I winning? I'm not trying to win. I'm trying to die. Okay. That's fine. I lose. Yeah, no, I wanted to... Is there a good spot to go heal, chat? I don't think Ty is here, so he can't help me with that. But I remember I could grind in the Brood Manic's cave, but their levels are kind of low, so it would take a bit of time. I don't have fly. Hold on. Alright. Waterfall. Okay. Okay, alright. Fly away. Let me check the Pokedex. That would be a good idea. Maybe I can check the Puppet Dex and search. Oh god. Oh god, it's so slow! That was Okina. Can I not see them because they're not in the local decks? What is happening? I don't want to skip over them by accident. The order makes no sense in here. What? Oh. Search Puppet. A to Z. Low cost. Name. M. Type. I don't fucking know your type, dude. Form. I don't. What? I can't search them. Okay. Alright. I don't know where else to go then. Except for the Romantic Cave. I don't know where else there could be. Oh. Oh. From what I recall, chat, I think if you get like, if you collect like 30 timeouts or something, you get banned. I don't know if that's true though. And I don't know if the timeouts are like, need to be longer than 1 second. I don't really know how it works. But I don't really like doing that for a bit, just because, like I said, I don't want it to fuck something up for somebody in some way. Because, like, what if it eats your sub and you spent the $5 and then it's just like, sorry, bye. And it's like, that sucks. Because that means you're not going to sub again. And that's just financial stupidity on the streamer's part. And as you all know, chat, you're all just floating dollar bills in my house. I need to find some music. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, laurel tree, I wish to be alone no more. Chat, you ever find that for some reason YouTube randomly recommends you these fucking absurdly creepy ass things that have like 5T views? And you're just like, what is this? I don't want to see this. But they just keep popping up on your feed for no reason. Hold on, I'm just looking. I'm gonna search spooky music. Spooky music. The best Halloween music. Scary Halloween music. Creepy I'm gonna click it. Are any of these? Oh, these are all licensed tracks. Oh, these are all licensed tracks. Okay. Nope. Tale of Darkness. 1 hour of dark and mysterious horror music. Okay. Okay. Yeah, none of these are claimed. Alright, that's good. Here you go, chat. Let's listen to this as we do a little bit of grinding. Okay. Should be good. Yeah, I don't know. I randomly get recommended the most random shit imaginable. And then it's like every now and again something fucking sinister like that pops up. And I'm just like, I don't know what that is. I have no idea. But like I said, I don't want to mess with it. Okay, so those guys don't give any EXP at all. Their encounter rate is also higher. So yeah, is there a better place to grind these little bastards, or is this the only place? Chad, this music's actually kind of like, it's actually kind of sinister. I hope it doesn't scream at me. That wouldn't be very good. Read a creepypasta? Link me a creepypasta and I'll read it. Not until post-game. Okay, so is there a better place to grind than these two? Because they still give a pretty decent amount of EXP, all things considered. I just kind of want to hit level 55, because I think 55 is probably... Like, Cynthia's best... What is Cynthia's ace? Like, 62 or something? Isn't her Garchomp, like, 62? Or am I misremembering? I'd like to be at a level where I can, like, match the champion better. Don't make me read another fanboy and chum chum creepypasta, man. Don't make me do that. Oh man, this thing keeps surviving. Oh yeah, I have a lucky egg. Oh shit. I forgot I had that. Where's that? Okay. Garchomp is level 62. Okay, thank you. So yeah, I think I'll probably go to 56-ish. And I should be okay from there. Yeah, 1200 with Lucky Egg. That's pretty good. That's really good. So we'll speed it up here. I got something for you. You're just gonna post here no punching me. That's all you're gonna do. You think you got me, but I got you already. Does that say Pokemon Death Snap? Oh, no way that's real. Oh, no fucking way that's real. There's no way that's real, dude. You're fucking with me. You're fucking with me. Okay. Alright, chat. Let's all get comfy. You ready? I'm gonna start the story. I wasn't really into computers at the time. My family had dial-up and shitty Windows 95, which made everything so frustrating. No, my farthest exploits into the digital world involved me and my Nintendo 64, Super Smash Bros., Super Mario 64, Star Fox 64, Mario Kart 64, and Pokemon Snap were my favorites. After I had thoroughly rooted out every secret in these games, the only one that kept my attention was Pokemon Snap. I constantly went through every level trying to get the best possible shot of all the Pokemon featured in that game. What intrigued me was the realism in the game. In all other Pokemon games, everything was synthetic. This motherfucker is really pulling this argument. When was this made? I am so goddamn sick of this argument, man. I hear it for every Pokemon game ever made, ever since the release of, like, X and Y. No Pokemon game is legit. They're all shit. They're all bad except the old ones. Even the fucking Pokemon Snap creepypasta is feeding me this drivel. Alright, okay, I get it. Yes. New Pokemon bad, old Pokemon good. Alright? Here's your fucking medal. Anyway. Back to it. For what it's worth, Pokemon Snap is a phenomenal game. I highly recommend it. And its sequel on the Switch is also very good, but there's so much content in it. Alright, just read the story. Man, you better watch your mouth. I'm gonna read it when I read it. This is my stream. You ain't even got a sub badge next to your name. Think you can tell me what to do. Alright. I'm gonna read it. Just give me a second. Alright, here we go. Alright. You couldn't walk amongst the Pokemon and see how they interacted. You could only have them in a ball or following you around. One could argue that Hey You Pikachu was more interactive, but on the whole, only certain words are recognized, and scripted, non-realistic events gave the game a disgustingly synthetic feel. What does that mean, synthetic feel? The first-person 3D view of Pokemon present in Pokemon Snap gave everyone who grew up in the 90s something they could only dream of. A chance to live in a realistic Pokemon world. This is cause. Oh, it's Amnesia. Okay, no, I don't need that. So eventually we moved to a new house and got a PS2, DSL, and a computer that could run Half-Life. I moved on to bigger and better things, but would often look back fondly at the simplicity of my childhood. My N64 and all the games were put in a forgotten corner in the basement. This brings my story to more recent events. About a week ago, I was at a friend's house. He is one of those people who are well-equipped. Well-equipped? You mean he's packing? And has many things: Wi-Fi, several computers, iPods, a Mac, a drum set, a piano, a widescreen HD TV, surround sound, guitars, a PS3, and whatnot. Okay, thank you, Anchovio, for gifting the sub. But you chose the wrong target because he did not deserve one. Alright? You can refund that sub, I won't be mad. Give it to somebody who deserves it. Somebody like that guy right there. Yes, you, chat member. I'm talking about you. Okay. You can refund gifts? I don't think you can, no. I think you can refund an actual sub, though. and you can put the reason is that streamer is not the man you thought he'd be. And it's like, oh, okay, that's a shame. But I don't know if you can actually do that, and obviously I prefer it if you didn't, but I can't stop you. I cannot control you. You ever see those situations, chat? Where somebody donates a very large sum of cash to a streamer, and then they claim it back? That happens sometimes. When people drop large chunks of money in donations, they pretty much, like, when the stream ends, they tell PayPal, like, hey, I didn't want to do that, and then PayPal refunds them. And that's a whole fun process right there. So, yeah, that does happen. That's why whenever people start dropping, like, mega 20s for every little stupid thing, streamers are often a little more on the cautious side of that, because it's like, that's the kind of behavior that's usually followed by a full refund. And that's a headache for them. And it's like, oh, shit. I don't have anything like that set up, so, you know, it's not an issue for me, per se, but it's fine. I'm okay with the things I have set up as it is. A $10,000 donation on Twitch once. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, you see that at GDQ, right? From, like, when the Yeti drops their stuff. Alright, Metariko might be a bit annoying to level up. Just, oh, she gets a lot of EXP. Okay. That could have been... Didn't Mr. Beast do that? Like, at one point, he just, like, donated large sums of cash to people. But yeah, if it's a donation through PayPal, they can, like, make a claim and refund it. But then sometimes they try that, and it doesn't work. And it's one of those moments where it's like, oh, shit. He donated, like, 20 to Ninja once. You're telling me Mr. Beast donated $20,000 to Ninja. That's cool. Yeah, Ninja needed that. He really needed that money. He's having a hard time. Gotta get that support cash from Daddy Beast. What was the significance of that maneuver? Anyway, I'm gonna read this creepypasta now. Where was I? He was one of the people I liked to whoop in Super Smash Brothers back in the day. Anyway, we were hanging out, and he had something he wanted to show me. He powered up his Wii, and one of the channels was on Pokemon Snap. He proceeded to load. He had recently downloaded from Virtual Console. As soon as I heard the fast theme song and camera flashes, I was overcome by intense wave of nostalgia, something I rarely feel these days. Yep, classic creepypasta writer, they're jaded. I really wanted to play that game. My friend loaded it up and selected continue. So for everyone unfamiliar with Pokemon Snap, the premise is that Professor Oak needs you to someone to photograph all the Pokemon on some island and with many different environments. You know what, chat? I just realized some of you guys watch me at like midnight your time. So this music is probably not the greatest thing in the world to be listening to at this time of day. In which case, if you have nightmares, feel free to tell me the next time you see me. But, you know, viewer beware, you're in for a scare. Okay. Where am I at? You underestimate the impact that sound can have on dreams. There are a lot of different random things that can impact dreams, and sound and sensation are big ones. And if you hear music that is, you know, you're supposed to feel unsettled to, and it slips into your subconscious like that, you'll have a weird dream. It can be kind of freaky. Why do you think people piss the bed when you put their hand in warm water? The human body is magical. Where was I? As you get more pictures and higher scores, new tools and levels become available to you, such as the apple, which acts as bait, and a pester ball, which irritates Pokemon, and the Pokeflute, which wakes sleeping Pokemon. The player controls Todd, a character from the anime, who's riding in a buggy on a set track. The buggy moves at a constant speed, and it is this buggy that you must take pictures. From this buggy, there are 63 of the original 151 Pokemon in Pokemon Snap. The levels or courses, as Oaks call them, range from a beach to a volcano to caves and rivers. The islands is a very diverse place, but even with my extensive playing, the darkest parts had eluded me. Until recently, that is. Okay. Hold on. So I know what you're thinking. Why does he keep walking back to the center for one Pokemon? And the answer is because I'm extremely lazy in moving my items to give the lucky egg to a different puppet and then work from there. I'd rather just do this. And I don't actually know which of these two processes is faster, but this is the process I've chosen to go with, and it's just how it's gonna be. Okay. Anyway, so Professor Oak said, "Welcome," in his very creeper-ish voice recording. What? What? Why did Oak just catch a stray? He didn't even do anything. I always find it funny how the game had about 1 word of pre-recorded voice per 2 or 3 sentences the text box showed. Reliving our childhoods, we took turns playing a level and seeing who'd get the best score. Soon I had to go home, but I really did not want to stop playing Pokemon Snap. Dude, me too. When I got home, I went down to my basement and dug out my old 64 along with a musty smelling cardboard box full of all these old cartridges, controllers, memory cards, and rumble packs. God, I miss this system. I hooked the RF cables up to the TV in my room, popped in Pokemon Snap, and shifted the Pokeball into the position. A little more backstory here. When I got my N64, the Hey You Pikachu model was massively on sale at Toys R Us. Okay, hold on. Okay. The items are going at the bottom of the bag so I can reapply them later. Okay. Where am I? I had a PS1. I actually had Crash Bandicoot, Celebrity Deathmatch, and some couple other things. I had Bubble Bobble as well. But I was mostly about the Super Nintendo, which I actually more of my mother's system than anything. She beat a lot of games. My mom was a gamer back in the day, and then she had kids and had to grow up to support them. What a shame. Fuck them kids. Alright, where was I? My mom decided to... Oh, Silverwind. No thanks. Too inconsistent. My mom decided to get it as it came with the game. When you turn it on with the Pokeball switch, the Pikachu's cheeks lighted up. Also, his foot acts as the reset switch. It's pretty cool. Anyways, when I turned the console on, the screen remained static. I pulled out the cartridge and checked the chip. Sure enough, it was covered in this black gunk. I spent half an hour getting this nasty stuff off. To the point I first noticed something strange. After the substance was removed, the chip was red with black rectangles along the surface, which I assumed were meant to be contacts. None of my other games had this black stuff, and their chips were light brown and the goldish contacts. Okay. I have Hey You Pikachu. I don't think I have the controller for it. I have the mic. Okay. Alright. There are other oddities with this particular cartridge. There are no official seal of Nintendo on this label or anywhere on the cartridge. These are all on 64 carts and most other Nintendo products from this era. Another thing was that there are no black label on back that usually contain the typical "don't play, you'll get seizures" kind of thing. What? The front label is also slightly off center. These should have been red flags, but I am a pretty lax guy that just takes things in stride, so I didn't really care. At this point, I thought the game was ruined by the goo and discoloration, but I put it back in for the hell of it. To my surprise, the Nintendo logo popped on the screen. We were back in business. Okay, we are so back. So the load screen came up and the upbeat theme song and camera flashes were playing just as they did earlier at my friend's house. It was then that I noticed several visual distortions, which I thought were due to cart damage. There were 3 purple vertical streaks a few inches wide that went all the way down the screen, 1 on each edge and 1 down the middle. They were darker in the middle of the streaks, but you could see past them somewhat. I didn't mind that much. It was only a minor inconvenience. My neck is starting to hurt. Okay, hold on. Alright, I'm good. Next, I pressed start, and to my surprise, I found that there was no continue option. guess my saves have been deleted by battery failure. All those hours and hours of hard work. I lost where I was. All my hours and hours of hard work and completion were gone. Oh well, I probably would have started a new file anyway. I started the new game, and the more strange things began to occur. I found myself in Oak's lab. His features were changed. His eyes were black, with no pupils, and he had a stern look on his face. That, coupled with the purple distortion that ran along his left half, made him very disturbing. All the text dialogue was normal, but the pre-recorded voice spits I mentioned earlier were distorted. They came out slowly at low pitch. I was reminded of the demon voices from early shooters like Doom, but other than these things I attributed to card damage, the gameplay was normal. Or so I thought. All of this was starting to make me a bit uneasy, but I was a man of science. I didn't believe in ghosts, or God, or hell, and prided myself in overcoming the irrational fears that many suffered from. Oh, to be young again. I went to the first course, the beach. There were more visual distortions. All Pokemon had no pupils, just pure black eyes. Oops. Also on the ground underneath there were the Pokemon sprites. There were a purple ring. It appeared even under the flying Pidgeys. The other distortion here was that the sky was a light green and there were no clouds or sun. The movement of the Pokemon seemed unnatural and cold, like they were afraid of something. I played through the course, but as I took pictures, the Pokemon that were in the frame disappeared. Slightly concerned by this, I didn't take pictures of Pokemon that wouldn't count until later, such as Snorlax or Chansey. As I approached the exit gate, I turned around and saw one of the circles that indicated that a Pokemon was there following me, but there was no sprite. I snapped a picture and was taken back to the lab. Sariel might take a little bit of time because Sariel is a pseudo, or well, actually just straight up a legendary, huh? Okay. I selected all the pictures for the Pokemon report, but strangely, the last picture I took was not there. The rating process went as normal, but at the end, Oak said, "Nice work harvesting." There was a brief pause. And then he said, "You let it in, didn't you? Well, you know what this means. Go to the tunnel." I assumed that he was referring to the tunnel course, so I went to the map and it was now available. As I entered the course, I noticed that I now had all the tools. The apple, pester ball, and Pokeflute. I went through the course and found that it had the same visual distortion as the beach. At the end, I tossed an apple at an electrode by the rocks, and the path to the volcano opened up. The electrode looked like it was in extreme agony. Not like the comical explosion seen before, it seemed to be begging for help. As the traveling cutscene took place, I saw the purple ring with no sprite again. It followed me. Strangely, there was no cut back to the lab after discovering the course like it was supposed to. It just took me straight to the volcano level. A quick survey of the area shows that the visual distortions were getting worse, as is my hearing because my fucking ear plugged up again. God damn it! As I moved forward, the Ponytas and Rapidashes. Ponytas? How did you get this information wrong? You knew that Chansey and Snorlax could not be a picture snap without an item, but you think Ponyta's running on the volcano stage? Who is this guy? Does he know Pokemon Snap or not? I can't tell right now. I feel like the story started being written by a different person at this point because that's quite the information mix-up. This is important to the lore. I can't believe this is the same game. Hold on. As I moved forward, the Ponytails and Rapidashes were running, then jumped into the lava and gave off low-pitched screams. Okay. All the Pokemon did this as I approached. I finally reached the egg, which blocked the path. You are supposed to throw an apple at it so you can proceed, but I found that my tools were gone. This was problematic, and I took this opportunity to get some dinner. I didn't pause the game because there was no need to. When I got back, I saw the purple ring again. It was in a place motionless behind me. I also saw something else coming from the distance. It was an electrode from the tunnel rolling down the path. This electrode must have been the one I blew up, as it had a look of anger and revenge in its eyes. I could do nothing to get away, so I sat and watched. As soon as it hit me, it exploded, which caused my buggy to flip on its side and go top down into the lava. A travel-like cutscene played, but it was slow with distorted audio. The low-pitched screams of the flailing, burning Todd were heard. I was back in the lab, and Oak looked angry. He said, "You let it get to you, didn't you? Well, you only have yourself to blame." The screen faded to black, and the course selection screen came up. Oak was standing alone, and the only option on the screen was hell in all capitals with 3 L's, which was spelled with 3 L's. Okay. The go back option was gone, so I had no choice but to click on it. There was no way I was stopping now. We're going to hell. HE triple hockey sticks. Alright. Here we go. The camera zoomed in on the charred corpse of Todd. Its bottom half was under the upside-down buggy. Everything was... You're gonna love this word. Ultra-realistic. Say the line, Bart. Say the line. And this was on a pedestal of stone in an endless sea of fire and lava. All the Pokemon I had taken pictures of and made disappear were floating in the lava, screaming in low-pitched voices. Ah! Suddenly, there was a camera flash. The screen swung to a demonic figure with a camera taking pictures of the corpse. After he had a few pictures, he curb-stomped Todd's head and took more pictures. Then a low-pitched demonic "Say cheese" came out of the speakers, and my whole room lit up for a second. That scared the shit out of me. And when it was over, the screen was dead black and the system was shut off. Okay. My ear. Oh my god, my ear. What is happening? I am grinding levels for the Elite Four. And to pass the time, I am speeding it up. I am playing spooky tale music, and I decided to read a creepypasta. What a bad time for Christian to raid. Thank you for the raid, though. Alright, where was I? I hit reset, because I knew it was just a game, and it couldn't hurt me. That stuff was pretty sick, but I had seen worse on the internet. I wanted to see what happened next. What the fuck, dude? As it came on the screen, the menu came up and the only option was to view the album. I hit A and immediately wished I hadn't. The album was filled with hundreds of photos, all of horrific torture and mutilation scenes. Many of these pictures involved children. These photos were not in 64-bit, but appeared to be authentic, scanned photos. At this point, I was overcome with nausea, but it got worse. The game force-scrolled to the end and zoomed. Moko zoomed. The final picture. It It was the picture I had taken of the purple ring without a sprite. Only now there was something above it. It was a picture of my dead body floating a foot off the ground. The sickest part was that there was a camera jammed through my head. I don't know why these creepypastas like to include pictures of like dead children in them, as if it adds to the creepy factor. It just makes it seem really shallow and pedantic. The screen faded to black. I was so terrified by the whole ordeal that I broke the cartridge in two and ditched it in two different dumpsters behind restaurants on opposite ends of town. Oh my... A few days later, I asked my mom if she had done something to my Pokemon Snap game. Oh yes, she said. When we moved here, I was carrying that box down to the basement and that game fell out and broke. When I went to pick it up, I found that it had fallen into a crack in the crawl space. I couldn't find it. I'm sorry about not telling you, but I thought you had outgrown that anyway. A lock of shock must have come to my face. Foe is taunted into a rage that only lets it attack. Oh, it's taunt. Okay. Because my mom asked what was wrong. Nothing, I said, I'm fine. I decided not to tell her. A week had passed and I am bringing my story to the internet in hopes that it may help someone else, or at least entertain. I do apologize for the length, but I feel that the details are necessary. What scares me the most is not the photographs of the mutilated, or of the mutilation, or my dead self. What scares me the most is whatever the hell is in my basement that can make a broken game into something so gruesome. Thank God I'm moving out soon. And leaving your mom there with the scary monster that just makes indie games? What the fuck? Bro, I want an indie game developing basement dweller in my crawl space. That's free money. I can put that shit up on the $8.99 on Steam. The moral of the story is don't trust game devs. Alright. Well, chat, what do you think? On a scale from 1 to 25, how would you rate our experience today? 0. 5? Cool. 1.5? 2.6? 3 out of 10? 7 out of 25. You guys are bad at this grading system, you know that? Alright, chat, you want one more? Okay, there's 2 more here that you probably never heard of, and I'll let you choose which one you want. We have Abandoned Loneliness, which is a picture of an Eevee in the fire red leaf green stat screen, and we have Disabled, which is a Wigglytuff with black eyes, red dot pupils, a big open black mouth, and bloody. So which one would you like me to read? Disabled? Okay. Oh, hold on. Eevee's kind of even right now. Alright, I'm gonna click Disable. Wigglytuff. When it comes to Pokemon, my favorites have to be Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff. When I was a little girl, I'd dream of having a puffy Jigglypuff. I even used to have a bunch of Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff plushies. Where'd you get those? They would surround my pillow, and each night I would cuddle with a different one just to make sure they each got some love. Anytime my Jigglypuff or Wigglytuff used sing, I would hum the little tune with them, thinking it made my chances better for the opposing Pokemon to fall asleep. It's adorable. I was very naive back then, but it was blissful innocence, to be honest. Hell, I even played Jigglypuff in the Brawl games. The what? I didn't care if anyone else didn't like her. I did. Okay. The story. So when I got my hands on Pokemon Soul Silver, and when it first came out, I of course made it my mini mission to find a Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff. I went through the game waiting for Puffs and Tuffs to show up. I encountered the occasional trainer with a Puffertuff, but I soon found out that Jigglypuffs could only be caught in one set area, which I later found to be the game's Safari Zone, and Wigglytuffs could not be found in the wild at all for me. At this point, Safari Zone was not active for me, so I was stuck waiting a little while longer to capture my beloved Puff. After a week or so of battling and schoolwork, Safari Zone was finally available. I went there once and had a chance to go, and I went to hunt for Jigglypuff. And of course, it was not easy. I ran into maybe 8 the first trip and lost all 8 of them. I remember calling my DS Lite a cheater. Next day, though, I finally caught my first Jigglypuff. I happily named her Jun and put her in my party ASAP. Her name is Juun. Jun. Okay. It took some time to get her up to the level of the rest of my team, but well worth it for me. I even kept her sing since it felt so nostalgic to hear that lovely tune again. This is personalized to the reader. Sadly, school... Oh god, my scroll wheel. Sadly, school got busy for me for a while, so I was forced to put my game on hold. But once I got my free time back, I went right back to work, making sure all of my Pokemon loved me, especially my Jun. But I still don't have a Wigglytuff. I didn't want to lose Jun, so I thought about getting an already evolved Wigglytuff, since Safari Zone has proven its dislike of me. So I sent a call out on the wireless trade, asking for a Wigglytuff, any gender, and any level. I wasn't picky at the time. But now I wish I had been picky. In exchange for a new Wigglytuff, I put out a wonderfully bred Totodile that had some killer moves, even for a level 6. Why is it level 6, you jackass? I waited for hours thinking someone would see the quality right away and send a trade. I waited days, maybe someone would just happen to want a Totodile to raise. Nearly 2 weeks had passed and I still had no response. I'd already given up hope and was ready to use a Moonstone on Jun. Motherfucker, just go back to the Safari Zone and catch another one. What is this so... This is hard. Okay. Alright, hold on. Sariel is now... Sariel took a while. Oh, hold on. Okay. Chat, does this scary music ever change? I'm not really scared anymore. Hold on. I think it's time for a change of song. It's been 35 minutes? Oh my god. There's just no way. Research Center Post-Apocalyptic Dark Ambient Journey. Dark Dystopian Ambience. Okay. I ended up checking one last time to make sure, and I wanted to get my Totodile back somehow. If no one was going to take him, but it didn't send me to the main menu for the wireless trading. Instead, it got the dramatic evolving music, and a Pokeball came flying from the top of my screen to the bottom. Finally, I got my Wigglytuff. I quickly logged out to see my new friend, a female Wigglytuff level 26. The name was a bit odd though, disabled in all caps. I didn't get why someone would name a Wigglytuff that, but I had seen stranger names for Pokemon. I just wish I could have changed it. For some reason, you could never change the name of a traded Pokemon. Its information was a bit odd, but I was never one of those for those kinds of details or learning the meanings behind those details. Better for it, sweetheart. Gloomy nature, and it only knew one move, Sing. I didn't recall ever seeing Gloomy before, but I had seen Timid, so I figured if they can be shy, they can be sad too. Though you have to wonder what Pokemon would be gloomy. I imagine Gloom, but that's just me. And the fact that it only knew Sing did bug me. It would have been nice if its previous trainer left some more moves, but I had some nice TMs to try on it anyway. Okay. Despite the off information, I was eager to try out the Wigglytuff in battle. I checked my character's bag and picked the best TMs I was almost sure would work. I ended up picking Hidden Power, Swagger, and Explosion. You what? Wigglytuff. Moveset. Control F. explosion. So you're a liar. So you're a liar. He doesn't learn explosion. It's a hacked mon. No, she gave it. No, she gave it that TM. It should be able to learn that. Idiotic. Idioto. Buenos dias. I headed to the nearest patch of grass and walked around aimlessly looking for a fight. The battle music came on and the Pokemon was a Ponyta. I picked fight and used Sing just to make Wigglypuff's first fight. Just to make Wigglytuff's first fight was easy, it failed. Well, I knew Sing didn't always work, so I didn't think anything of it. Ponyta used Tail Whip. It was cute, but only lowered my defense. My turn again, so I used Hidden Power just to see if it was the right place for it. I wasn't. Since I barely made a nick in the Ponyta's HP, I used Tail Whip again. I figured that the game was using the same trick the lower level Pokemon used. This time I tried Sing again. The screen acted like it had used Sing, but there was no sound. Sing was disabled. I just stared at my screen. How was it Sing unusable? Was it a stupid trick? I let Ponyta use its Tail Whip again, but then Wigglytuff shook a bit like it was suffering from an effect. I thought I saw the sprite change, but then I realized that I probably got a glitchy Pokemon. I cussed a bit, pissed that I lost a good Pokemon for a hacked one. I didn't want this one messing with my game, so I picked Run. Disabled wants to fight. You could not leave the battle. Oh, come on! I remember saying out loud. I kept thinking that it was probably about to ruin my game. I thought Ponyta was about to attack this turn, but it didn't. Its little sprite shook like it was poisoned. Ponyta was frozen in fear. It might not attack. I knew this was getting too weird. I tried to pick Run again, but another weird text came up. Disabled wants to fight. You cannot leave the battle. I'm not learning Mirror Code. I didn't even see that the text was different this time. I was able to pick another option. I couldn't run, so I fought. I tried Hidden Power again. Hidden Power was disabled. I had to pick another one. I tried Swagger. Swagger was disabled. What was doing this to its moves? All these questions popped in my head one after another. Did you try the power button? That's usually a good button to pull out in a situation like this. What did the guy who gave me this Wigglytuff do? I have to escape. I can't keep this Pokemon. I knew I could just turn the game off, but I wanted to see what was happening. Thank you for answering my question. I wanted to see what was wrong with my Wigglytuff. What about Jun, huh? What about Jun? You couldn't have just kept her? I was stuck with only two options, Sing and Explosion, which is impressive because you shouldn't be able to do one of those things. Sing was already disabled from past attempts, so I could only use Explosion. Why is this Hackmon's entire strategy based on the fact that the trainer would give it Explosion anyway, huh? What's this about? What is this about? Oh, move would take out Wigglytuff and the Ponyta too, ending the battle. I thought that maybe it was a good idea. Explosion was disabled. I didn't even have a chance to react before more text came up. Disabled tried using Sing. Sing was disabled. What the fuck is this thing gonna do? It was doing it on its own. The sprite started shaking a bit more than before, more obviously. Ponyta is frozen in fear. It can no longer escape from battle. I felt my heart start to pound. Maybe this is what Ponyta was feeling at the time. Disabled tried to use Sing. Sing was disabled. Disabled tried to use Sing. Sing was disabled. Disabled tried to use Sing. Sing was disabled. Disabled tried using 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 Sing. Sing was disabled. Each time the text passed, Wigglytuff's sprite turned darker and darker. Disabled used struggle. Okay. That was all written in there, chat, just so you know. I read the whole thing exactly as it's presented. I wasn't skipping any details. Disabled used struggle. I watched in horror as the Wigglytuff used struggle like it had no other moves to use. Most of the time, it didn't even hit the Ponyta. Just Wigglytuff, like it was hurting itself. The Ponyta finally fled from battle and the sequence ended. I wish I could have gone with it. Since Wigglytuff was first in my party, it was walking along with me on screen. Its colors looked dirty and red could be seen on it. I turned my character to talk to it. Ellipses. It didn't say anything to me. I tried again, becoming strangely desperate. To figure out what was happening, the Wigglytuff I was so joyed to finally have. I just wanted to sing. I wasn't sure who was talking. Maybe it was a voiceover. I thought I'd talk to it again. Why? Why? Why can't I sing? Just sing. Sing. Each time I spoke to it, its cry grew softer and softer, like it was a toy breaking. I began to feel bad for the Wigglytuff and headed back to the city to heal it. It was the least I could do before I turned my game off. Taking it back to the time I just barely got it before I used it. Stop pitting yourself, damn it. Sadly, we didn't get far. We encountered another Pokemon battle, another Ponyta. I picked Run, but just like last time, Disabled wants to fight. You cannot escape the battle. No one had time to react to what happened during this fight. Ponyta was too slow for some reason and was stuck in battle. The options menu did not come up for me. Disabled tried using Sing. Sing, 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 sing. There was so much text it moved off the box itself. And it was finally glitching out, I thought. Disabled used struggle. It struggled and 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 struggled. With each struggle, Wigglytuff took more and more damage. Though the wild Ponyta got hit more this time too. The wild Ponyta fled. Okay. Hold on. Dun 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 dun. Okay. I thought the fight was over, but the battle screen stayed up. I began mashing the buttons, thinking maybe it was going to talk again, and I needed to press A or B. The screen faded and changed to the evolving screen. I couldn't speak. My heart sank and I felt my eyes water. The once normal Wigglytuff sprite was faded, its left ear was torn off, and red pixel covering the broken end. Its tired eyes were pitch black, with only a red dot to show its pupils. Even its mouth had red coming from it, like blood was dripping out. Ugh. Got red coming out of my mouth now. Yeah. Why can't I sing? Why? Why? Can you sing? Yes or no? I picked no. I just wanted this to end. You're lying. You can sing. Give me your sing. Yes or no? I hit no about 4 or 5 times. Sing. Sing. The speakers let out a high-pitched screech, making me drop my DS to get it away. I ran out of my room and called a friend. He's a lifeline. I couldn't touch the game after that. My friend came over as soon as I could not hide the panic I was feeling. She laughed at me, but I told her I wasn't touching the game. She picked it up from me and looked at it, shaking her head as she turned it off and closed it. She handed it back to me. I think you broke it, she told me. Leaving my room and heading for the living room. She stayed with me for the rest of the day and night. I couldn't get that image out of my head. The next morning, when my friend was sitting next to me, I put the Wigglytuff up for trade. I found someone that was offering a Cyndaquil in exchange for a Wigglytuff. I hit the button as hard as I could, wanting it to hurry up. The trade went through. I still have that Cyndaquil. Whoever had him named him Hurry. Hurry for what? Hurry? What do you mean hurry? That's the end of the story, chat. Why can't he sing? There's a video? I'm clicking it. This video is screamer-free video. Okay. Links to this guy. Never mind. I don't care anymore. Scarlet Phobia? What is that? I'm clicking it. What game is this? Oh, it's a Sun and Moon. No, it's a Scarlet Violet creepypasta. Oh. This page contains potentially sensitive content. Abuse. It's not too major in this, but yes, there's some mention of it. Mostly with the main threat of Pokepasta. Death somewhere in this story. Faulty writing in general. Look, this was posted literally 4 days after Scarlet Violet came out, and I was kind of rushing. This is also the second Pokepasta I made. We don't talk about the first. If you have any issues with the wording and all, please go ahead and discard it. Okay. I think I just discarded it. Okay. Does that say Pokemon Strangled Red? Oh, this one's long. Oh, this one's too long. Oh no, it's so long. Oh, it's so long. Oh no. Strangled Red. Strangled Red. Hey, where's the Eevee one? Where's the Eevee one? Abandoned Loneliness. That one's long as shit too. Oh, that's way too long. Alright, chat. Well, I don't have a quick one I can read. No, I can't. I wanna stop and I wanna play Fantasy Maiden Wars. This one's too long. It'll take like 20 minutes plus. I need another really short one. Well, you know what? You know what? I can read it. Fuck it. Let's read it. Because I'm doing one chapter of Fantasy Maiden Wars anyway. The story. So a while back, I was given a copy of Pokemon Leaf Green by a friend. She said she tried out the game but got bored of it very quickly. Oh, first, let's change the music. We need new music. New music. Victorian ambience, London's mystery. Okay. Okay. Use headphones for better experience. You heard it here first, chat. London's mystery. What? That's not even spooky. Click on this. That's better. Okay. Hold on to your hats. Ah! London is very scary, I know. I know. This isn't that one, though. Alright, she said she tried out the game, got bored of it very quickly. I could see just how quickly she got bored. She only had 3 minutes of gameplay. How the fuck do you play 3 minutes of Pokemon and just... Oh, no. She called her character Leaf, I suppose it made... Ow! Bitch tits. I suppose it was maybe because of the game's title, Leaf Green. I wanted to play a new game, but I firstly wanted to see if she even bothered leaving Pallet Town to activate the event where Oak takes you to the lab and gives you a Pokemon. Why? I started up the game to find that Leaf was laid in her bed in her bedroom, except the bed was in the middle of the room. Everywhere in the room was missing except the TV, and the bed on the left side of the floor was a dark color, and the other side was lighter, and the area's name was Emptiness, not Pallet Town. Perhaps she gave up on the game because of this weird change to the overworld. Oh yes, I almost forgot to mention, no music was playing by this time. Before leaving the bed, I hit the start button, which opened up to the menu. It turned out she did have a Pokemon, so I checked exactly what the starter Pokemon she chose was. To my surprise, she actually had a level 10 male Eevee nicknamed Loneliness. I knew Eevee was an impossible starter, but I couldn't help but notice that the E was missing from the word loneliness. Maybe she didn't know the spelling of loneliness. I guess that might been the case since she wasn't very good at spelling. Okay. Alright. Your friend's catching a lot of strays. On closer inspections, the Eevee appeared to be sad instead of having a happy smile on its face. Its nature was lonely and its attacks were as follows: Tackle, Screech, Grudge, and Nightmare. Oh, it looks sad. Oh, it's sad in the image. Oh. Okay. The text said, "You're not wanted here." Well, isn't that nice? Wait, I left the bed and made my way over to the TV and pressed the A button to see if it would work, and it did. The text said, "You're not..." What are you learning? Seismic set damage. Fuck yourself. "You're not wanted here." Well, isn't that nice? Okay. Since I couldn't do anything in this room, I went downstairs, and just like upstairs, the only thing in the room was a TV, except that this time the tiles on the floor spelled out the word "Go!" including the exclamation mark. I checked the TV and the text said, "Don't leave me." Well, I had no choice but to leave since there was nothing to do in this boring room. So I exited south to the waiting pallet town. I left the house, and instead of being in pallet town, I was in some large, foggy place. Surrounding grass was colored red, and the house that I left was cut in half, only the bottom part showing. There were gates surrounding the path, which prevented me from leaving. The music that was playing was the music that plays at the abandoned mansion. That music's not scary. And there was a path heading east. Before heading down to the eastern path, I noticed there was a signpost. I walked up to the signpost, hit the A button, revealing the text as V. There was another path going south, except I couldn't reach it because the gate prevented me from walking to it. I walked down the path for what seemed to be about 8 seconds. When an NPC scrolled in, he appeared to be standing on the gate, and his body was purely white with a gaping mouth and blood trailing from his eyes. A very spooky sight, if I say so myself. I was able to interact with the NPC, and he said, "Can't you do better?" How meta a comic can you get? Is he taunting me? Well, regardless, I continued down the path. The surrounding grass turned to black, and the red path was still there. I walked towards the end of the path, and there was a small door. I walked into the door. I was taken off to a different map. I appeared at a small school-like house with no blackboard and a small desk with a book on it. I walked up to the desk and checked the book. He was so alone. His sorrow-filled eyes made me so unhealthy, so hurt. I wanted to help him, so I did. I had no clue what the author behind this book could be, but I shrugged it off. Another one of those white NPCs was standing beside the desk, so I walked up and spoke to him. He was so kind, his smile, his laugh. He said, "After leaving the house, I was taken back to the previous map, except this time I was in the path heading south, which I could not reach before. I walked south down the path to find there were some letters faded on the left side of the gate with 5 white NPCs on the other side. Friend is what it said. Fucking white people and their friends. God damn. As I continued south, the red grass changed to a pitch black. There was also a large body of water with green grass surrounding it. I walked my overworld sprite around the water and down the path. There was a door at the end of the path, and on both sides of the gates there was 2 letters. By the looks of things, an N and an O. I puzzled together the overworld text as friend? No. So this person or Pokemon wasn't a friend to someone else. After going through the door, I found myself in a very confined space, but yet another white NPC standing at the end of their room. When I spoke to him, he said, "Why wasn't he?" Well, see for yourself. By this point, I was greatly attached to this game and was desperate to get to the end of it. I exited south and I was taken to the Pokemon Tower. There was a single path which I could follow, except I couldn't go outside the barrier of the gravestones. There were 3 white NPCs scattered around outside the gravestone barriers. There was only on the path which I could speak to, who only said ellipses. Towards the end of the path, I found an NPC who wasn't another one of those white NPCs, but your rival. He's blue. He was standing in front of a golden gravestone and was facing me. When I spoke to him, he said, "No, I don't believe in ghosts. Run away before they get you." I was sort of confused and was still trying to puzzle together this odd story, but at the moment, I wanted to find out what would happen next. I left the Pokemon Tower, and now I was in Lavender Town. Ooh. The music changed to the Lavender Town theme, and the town had little changes to it. It was raining, and the routes going north, south, and west were blocked by wooden gates. I explored the town to find 3 more of these NPCs. Let's call them ghosts, since that's what Blue addressed them as. One of them was outside of the gate, so I was unable to reach him. One was standing beside the Pokemon Center, and another was beside the main house in Lavender Town. The one beside the Pokemon Center said, "Oh, but we're having so much fun. Do you really want to deny us?" And the one beside the house said, "Kick, kick, 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 kick. Are you really still going to believe the kid who betrayed loneliness?" What? That's it. I got it. So Blue abandoned the Eevee named Loneliness. But why? The only way to find out was to continue with this game. I entered the house beside that ghost to find a lot of stuff was missing. There was a lass in a bug catcher sitting at the table. I approached the girl and she said, "This is frightening. I want to get out of this nightmare." I walked over to the bug catcher and he said, "The ghost can't get in here. I wonder why." Oh. No, I didn't want to learn fly. I wanted to use fly. Okay. But wait, there was a third NPC in the room. Facing the window, it was the male protagonist, Red. "Leaf, you're okay." No, you're not. Run. Now, you have to discover the truth. And with that, I left the house just as Red commanded. Alright, chat. Hold on. I'm just gonna stop the game now, but I'll finish the creepypasta. Okay. Let's make a save. I grinded. I got my levels up, so. The next overworld map was the Pokemon fan club in Vermilion, except the people were missing and there was a fog there. May I also mention that the Lavender Town theme continued to play? Sure. You can mention it if you want. I walked deeper into the house to find a ghost who was standing beside kind of a glitchy patch of blocks. The ghost said, "Right this way." Not like you have a choice. How very true. So true. I walked into the bundle of blocks, but nothing happened and I appeared trapped. Then I tried walking back south when I was teleported off to the Pewter City gym with no one there but Brock. The fog was still in effect as I walked up to Brock and spoke with him. "Truth," he said demandingly, as I was thrown into a battle with him. At last, lively music. Brock only had 3 Pokemon, each at level 2. He sent out his first one, which was Bulbasaur, named Ghosts. I didn't like that noise. I really didn't like that noise. As I sent out my Eevee Loneliness, I easily KO the Bulbasaur with Tackle as he switches into Charmander named Tricked. The process repeated and he switched into his final Pokemon, which was Squirtle named Him. Ghost tricked him. While knocking out the last Pokemon, I noticed that together they say Ghost tricked him. With that, I won the battle, and Brock scrolled in who says continue, and then he hands me the boulder badge. Brock's text ends with a bunch of exclamation marks, and we were taken back to the overworld. Kick, kick, kick! Leaf received TM39 from Brock. Ghost tricked him. He is waiting. Begone, begone, Brock said. I left the gym, and I was taken to the gate which leads up to Victory Road. There were no edits here at all, and I was able to pass through the gate to having the boulder badge. I exited out of the house in Fuchsia City, which is placed on the path that leads you to the cycling road. Instantly, I noticed the text in the top corner, which said, "You will perish." The city seemed to be glitched and wrecked. It was raining. No music played. Heading eastward down the path, I saw 2 ghosts. The one closest to the house said, "Take in the air while you still can." Kick, kick. And the one next to him said, "Your time is almost up." The path continued eastward, and I couldn't go north due to some glitch blocks blocking the way. I kept walking eastward towards the city gate, only to find it was blocked by 3 uninteractable signs and a ghost. Oh. The ghost said, "When you find out the truth, you shall join loneliness forever, and you shall experience our being." I explored around the remote city to find Blue standing at the southeastern part of the city. When I approached him, he said, Leaf, I abandoned Eevee after my Eradicate died. The ghost tricked me into it, so I have found out Blue to be the fool he is. I continue with the story, going through the only door in the town that would work with the house I entered the city from. Entering the house, I was taken off to the Pokemon Tower. I was trapped in a single one-block space surrounded by gravestones with 3 ghosts standing around me. Ah! From that point onward, there was truly nothing to do, so I switched off the game. A few months passed since my encounter with the very odd game. I hadn't picked it up since after switching it off, and I soon forgot about it. I left it under my bed in a small box of games, not playing it until one Friday afternoon when my mother was cleaning my bedroom. I got back from college and went up to my room to see her moving the box from under my bed and placing it on the bed. Sorry, dear, I won't be too long, she said as she continued to clean my room. I took the box, my mother. I took the box, gave my mother a hug, and went back downstairs. Grabbed my DS Lite on the way. I threw myself onto the sofa and opened up the small box to find a bundle of different games. Which one to play? I looked around in the box until I saw a small green game card hidden under all the other games. It was that weird Pokemon Leaf Green game that I hadn't played in so long. I remembered being stuck in the Pokemon Tower, but I was eager to play this game just for the old times. Before going to the screen, I found there was a new file named Sorrow, which had a gameplay time of 10 minutes. From what I remember, the last file was called Leaf, but I pushed it aside, selecting the file, and I was taken into the game. I was in a school building facing the eastern wall, and in the top corner it said the map's name, which was Neglect. There was also a ghost standing at the blackboard. I checked to see if it still had the Eevee named Loneliness, but instead I had a female Bayonet named Unwanted at level 18. It's illegal. Despite a Bayonet was missing its arms, its right eye was a black void, and there was a trail of blood from its left eye. It also appeared to be frowning with a modest nature, met in question marks at level 18. Its moveset was Curse and Grudge, except Grudge was fresh out of PP. Oh yes, and it had the ability Drizzle, which summons rain when entered in battle. Wow. That's a pretty good ability. I spoke to the ghost, and an Eevee cry is heard as he said, "Where did Loneliness go?" I left the house, and he was in a fairly large area with a gate surrounding it, with 3 ghosts standing outside the gate to the north. They're all staring at the house I just exited. The grass is red like it when I first played the game. I found 3 signposts and another house, along with one of those people you see at the Pokemon Tower roaming around. Wandering around? Wait, wandering around? You mean wandering around? I interacted with signpost, which was to the left of the house I left, and I said, "Have brought the knife here." I went to the signpost, which was directly right from the house, and that one said, "Trainer tips." It was my only choice. I had to. I just had to. And the final signpost south of that one said, "Trainer tips." She left me as well. Before approaching the final signpost, I decided to speak with the person. She said, "Loneliness," and I am given a yes or no answer. I didn't quite follow what she meant, so I chose no, and she said, "Don't lie." I tried again, this time selecting yes, and she said, "Why did you?" Okay, so from what I've gathered, then Leaf was also neglected this Eevee, just like Blue did. I explored the second house to find it was a Pokemon Center with a fog in effect. Behind the counter was a Mew, along with a ghost, both of them just saying ellipses. At the escalator leading to the top floor was Red. I walked my character over to him, and he said, "I don't know you." I don't know you either. What? We have met in Lavender Town. Maybe he said that because Leaf abandoned Eevee as well, I thought at the time. I went up the escalators and I was teleported to Route 22. Right outside the Pokemon League gate. It was raining, the grass was red like earlier, the map's title was Look! And the music changed to the Abandoned Mansion theme. I tried entering the League building except the doors wouldn't budge, so I chose the To follow the path that would lead me to Viridian City. While following the path, I passed a signpost. Upon interacting with it, I heard Evie cry as the text displayed the words, "Raticate died!" He doesn't notice me still. The ledge where you could normal hop over was changed to a gate, and on the other side it spelled the word, "Look!" I continued around the path until I got to an area where I couldn't pass due to gates blocking the way. On the other side of the gate, there appeared to be another letter formation. This time, it just said, E. Just a little north from there was a small door in the cliffside. When I was able to enter, I was taken to a room where in the center, where there were tiles spelled out the letter E again. So that's 2 E's I've seen now. I thought, huh. To the north of the room, I saw Professor Oak. I tried walking past him, but he stopped me and said, "Loneliness isn't the only one, and sent me back. I walked back to where I entered and left through the where I was warped off to cave named Loneliness, but the E is not capitalized in Loneliness. But it's there this time, because remember, it was spelled loneliness before, but now it's Loneliness with the E. It's kind of weird. By the looks of things, I was in the northwest part of Mount Moon. Immediately into the silence, and the cave was filled with a fog. I walked south where I found a signpost, and just like the previous one, I heard an Evie cry as I interacted with it. "I feel so unwanted," the signpost said. Continued walking south where I met with Blue. "He was nothing but a curse," he said. The screen faded to black and then faded back in. The blue was nowhere to be seen. I chose to explore the cave a bit, walking eastward from where I spoke to Blue. Suddenly the room changed as if I exited through a ladder. From what I gathered, I was in the lower part of the cave with a large pathway shaped like a C. As I walked around the path, I found a third E written on the ground. I headed towards the end of the path to a waiting ladder where I led the cave into a room with a single pathway heading east, similar to the first path in the game, except I was surrounded by endless cave walls and little gates. As music began to play, I noticed there was a Lavender Town's theme song as a signpost there, and I interacted with it. I heard an Evie cry as the text appeared on the screen, saying, "I'm not a curse." Towards the end of the path, I found a single patch of grass, and as soon as I stepped into it, I was engaged in battle. A level 10 Eevee scrolled in, but instead of it saying Wild Eevee appeared, it said Loneliness looks sad. I set up my level 18 Bayonet and Drizzle was activated. Since the Bayonet was fresh out of Grudge PP, I had no choice but to use Curse. Unwanted used Curse. Unwanted wants Wild Loneliness to suffer. Wild Loneliness used Grudge. Wild Loneliness is buried its emotions. Rain continues to fall. Wild Loneliness is feeling agonizing pain. Since I couldn't use any other attack, the battle just continued with the seemingly endless cycle until Loneliness finally fainted from the curse, except it said Wild Loneliness died! My Bayonet gained some EXP and I was sent back to the overworld. This time it was raining. The map's name was Suffer. There was no music playing. The grass patch was missing. There was a door in the wall above me, and the overworld sprite of my character had changed. Her body was completely white, her eyes were red, and she had red markings on her hands. I checked my trainer card to see her sprite matched her overworld appearance. I checked my Pokemon to see I still had Unwanted, and I did! But it was back at full HP, and Curse was back up to 10 PP, but Grudge was still at 0 to 5 PP. I went to the door and appeared outside Lavender Town's Pokemon Tower. The grass had changed to red. It was still raining. The gates had changed from wooden ones to white ones. They were also closer, leaving me with a little less space to explore. The Pokemon Tower's door was missing. The music kicks in as the Pokemon Tower theme, and there were 4 signposts beside the tower in order. I read each and every one of them from top to bottom, and their text is as follows. Why didn't you listen to me? Now you're cursed. You could have saved us both. Do you regret? I remembered that the signpost before the battle with Loneliness said, I'm not a curse. And before that, the signpost constantly labeled Loneliness as a bad curse. Thank you, Ladders, for the resub. This led me to believe that it was loneliness who was speaking to the signpost. Outside of the barriers with 3 ghosts, when I explored the house, there is no one in them. However, in the last house I checked, which is the one most southwest, I found that the tiles were white with E written on the floor in green. Also, there was a cubone standing on the letter E. When I approached it and interacted with it, it said 4th letter E. I felt the house and I appeared back in the bedroom from the start of the game, except the bed was missing and there was a letter V on the floor. I interacted with the TV and it says the following. EV. Put the E where it belongs. 4 E's and a letter V spelling out Eevee. I headed downstairs and the only thing in my room was another TV. I interacted with it and it said, you no longer exist. You have no purpose, but maybe you can ask for forgiveness. I left the house, and it was now in Pallet Town. There was another change in my overworld sprite. I was nothing but 2 red eyes and a red mouth standing in front of me. Looking up at me were red and blue. First, I decided to check if my trainer card had changed. 4 minutes of gameplay. No sprite, and the name had changed from Sorrow to Look. Then I checked my party to see that I had a faceless level 10 Eevee named Put to Rest. Its nature is modest, and its only move is Guillotine. I spoke to Red and he said, where is Leaf? Where is loneliness? Right away I noticed that the word loneliness had its missing letter E placed back in it. Then I spoke to Blue and he said, Leaf got the brunt of the curse. It's all my fault. Just below them was a signpost, and when I interacted with it, I heard an Eevee cry followed by the text, loneliness was put to rest, RIP. As soon as the RIP appeared on screen, the credits music from Ruby Sapphire Emerald played, and I was locked into the text and unable to leave. The music would play until the end, and once it did, I was sent back to the start of the game where I had a level 10 Eevee named Loneliness. I understand the story now, but do you understand it? That was the last line. Wait, there's a game. Chat, there's a game. There's a game, chat, but it's 6 videos long. What? Someone made a game about this. Wow. Attenzione, perdi lo scritto, loneliness e non loneliness, pergadate le date, le turbati, le scontri pietro, le download, le mi spiaciassi. That's good. Thanks for the description. Okay. Anyway, chat, there is a game attributed to this apparently, so that's cool. But we're not gonna read it or watch it because we just experienced it. But do you understand it? Do you understand it, chat? Do you know? Do you get it? Did you get? No. Okay. Okay. Well, it's fine if you didn't understand it because I understood it. And I'm not going to tell you because that would ruin the whole point of it. But I hope you enjoyed this absolutely gargantuan waste of time. Whoa, jeez. And now we're going to move on to Fantasy Maiden Wars.